Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, January 30th, 2023. It's 1:27 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. All right, BitcoinDailyView.com has always got more for you there. Indicators that I mentioned here, things I use and endorse and stuff like that. If this brings you value, one day you make a big money off something I mentioned, buy me a coffee. Anyway, check it out. FinViz. Looking at the markets today, they opened with some optimism. Dow, Nasdaq, S&P 500 all kind of were moving up this morning, but then, well, it did not last. As you can see, the S&P 500 today is an exceptional kind of a red mess. Although household, household, or consumer defense, household personal products, tobacco, and like what is it, packaged foods are all doing really well. So I guess people are kind of down there in their in their bunkers, anyway. So anyway, S&P 500 not looking too rocking today. Down, Nasdaq, S&P 500 all kind of potty, not too wonderful. Down a good deal. Dow down 0.77, Nasdaq 1.87, and S&P 500 1.24. So definitely a red day in the market. Tesla down 4.8%, or 4.88%. Google down 2.59. Microsoft 2.2. Apple 1.8. So in general, big guys in the tech sector definitely not doing that great. Funny, oil and gas integrated, whatever sector that is in the red today pretty well. Anyway, we will not belabor it. Who cares? S&P 500 not looking too great. That oftentimes does correlate very, very closely to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin ain't rocking either. So would make sense. Looking at the crypto universe in squares, the only thing that's green right now is USDC and BUSD. So anyway, with that said, boom, there you go. Bitcoin recently down 4.6%. Ethereum recently down 5.56%. 5.56, a very interesting number for you prepper-minded people out there. ADA, Cardano, basically down 6.6%, just a little bit over 6%. BNB down 3.85. So either we're going to continue down and going to have a sad week, or maybe we'll see a bounce. There's a possibility for it. I'll tell you where I see it. As we rock along, let's get this done here. 11.2 billion trading volume last 24 hours. That's good to go, up 23%. But unfortunately, that trading volume might just be longs getting wrecked. So a mixed blessing. Dollar strength index today is making a move up, a pretty bold move, as you can see. Came off the bottom. Yeah, I think it's found that this is where it wants to move up from. And dollar strength index, nice move today, green candle. What, of course, that brings usually complete market wreckage, So anyway, U.S. oil spot down today, red candle. S&P 500 down today, red candle. Bitcoin down today, red candle. Gold down today, red candle. Silver down today, red candle. So DXY pumping, meaning that evil is definitely making a move in the world and destroying hopes and dreams and crashing the market. As you can see here, Bitcoin. This is great to see longs versus shorts, and the kind of frequency and size of buys and longs. This is looking at a lot of big exchanges, as you can see this morning by the yellow bars there. A lot of volume when down here, the red bars, and then the yellow bars on top. Red bars are sell volume. Yellow bars up here are wrecked. Basically, longs getting wrecked. As you can see, kind of in two big pulses, boom and boom. A lot of longs got wrecked. You can see tremendous liquidations. It was definitely, if the idea was to clear out those pesky longs, well, done. And I will say that 5%, and we can look here, 4.63% right now. Basically, if it did wick below that, which it probably did on the way down, usually once you get down 5%, you pretty much wiped the Rex. You've wiped the longs. So looking at okay, sorry about that. I got distracted. Boom. Looking at the big exchanges, most are in the green right now, not many in the red. So we do see spot trading volume. That kind of, it's always certain when you're getting a good day or a bad day, you're usually going to see nice trading volume. Not the highest I've ever seen it, but definitely we got some volume happening. There's some spot trading happening. People are probably trying to buy those dips today. Looking at derivatives, longs and shorts with leverage, basically 49 billion. 50 billion is a good day, so people are definitely getting their getting wrecked, I guess. if they were long, and making big money if they were short. So 16% up last 24 hours. So anyway, got some volume, not extraordinary volume for spot, and our derivatives, longs versus shorts, not looking too bad. All right, let's keep on rocking here. So with that said, what can I tell you about today? What I can tell you is this, almost there. Looking at the charts right now, Bitcoin coming in at 22,746, definitely down a bit. Looking at the top 100, everything's in the red, to be expected. All right, now longs versus shorts on Binance, where the big volume is. For Bitcoin, 53% long, 46% short. Boom. Okay, for Ethereum, 58% long, 41% short. So a long bias right now, which would kind of make sense. But when you're dumping like this or you're pumping extremely, I'm always like, wait till you find out where things are really going. Don't guess, don't try to catch a falling knife, and don't try to, catch a, I don't know, whatever, whatever the opposite of that would be. So anyway, here's the deal. This is what I'm saying. When you're pumping really hard, you just got to see where it goes. When you're dumping really hard, you just got to see where it goes. I like to look at possible spots where things may turn around. So if they begin to, at least it makes sense and I can have some confidence. So here's my take on it. Looking at the 1 hour chart here, I live by the 200 moving average, and the 314 is very important to me too. So 200 moving average is red, 314 is green. So 200 moving average, we broke below it. Boom. Okay. To be expected. That happened. Now we're finding, are we going to find support here at the 314 moving average? That is really the big one. If we bounce there, okay, market took a dump, traditional market took a dump, basically, because of many factors. But let's just say when it comes down to it, the dollar strength index pumped and market went potty. Gold, silver, S&P, all that just pretty much, dumped hard. So 314 moving average in the green there. We wicked almost to it. Let's see if we bounce. On the hourly chart, I think it's a big deal, really. So the 314 moving average, I'm seeing that coming in right now at 22,535. Okay. So 22,535. I'm going to put, after this, I'm going to put an alert in and see if it actually breaks below that. A wick, not so bad, but I'm hoping that we've kind of seen the worst of this. If we get a bounce here, I will be rather happy. Great place to long, but if you do long on a bounce here, wait till you see some kind of confirmation for yourself what that looks like. You'll probably find resistance in the 200. That's a pretty hard pump. Anyway, we're going to see what happens. We're dumping. How far we're going to dump, don't know. Just play it at whatever your trading methodology is. My hourly trading bots definitely boom, boom, sold. That's for sure when they saw it, when this started. Here's the thing. Let's look at a little bit more indicators here. This is my favorite, the 45-minute chart for immediate price action. We kind of had a breakout recently, above kind of a glass ceiling that we had. Did not last, dumped hard. On a 45-minute chart, we're below the 200 and the 314 moving average. That's not too wonderful. The squeeze indicator is in the red. ADX is climbing. It's not good. It's not good if it's climbing when the price action is going down. When they're aiming at each other, never that great. Directional index is in the red. And there you go. So let's actually look at a 15-minute chart. Sometimes you can start to see a reversal there. So we'll see what happens. We took a big dump and we did not, and we kind of went sideways a little bit, trying to, challenge that 314, but we lost it. And now we'll see again, are we beginning to trail one way or the other? One thing I do see, or we get into it's no more necessarily likely to, bounce here than it was up here, but this is something I do like to mention. I use it here. It's the ATR zone. You can just search our ATR zone. I'll put the indicator over at bitcoindailyview.com later on. But one thing is here's your ATR ribbon. You can probably just see it. It's in the gray there. So the ATR ribbon to me is kind of like the RSI cave, or Keltner bands, if you're familiar with that. They do tend to be pretty sticky. They do tend to kind of work. And so for me personally, we're right here at the bottom of the ATR zone. So it would not surprise me. This begins to be a bit of a foundation. I think we could definitely bounce there. Let's see if I still got my old, do I have my Keltners here? I think I do. Bam. There we go. So here's the Keltner bands, which I don't usually keep on the chart because they get kind of hard to deal with. So if you see here, I just look at the ATR cave now. I don't really look at the RSI cave anymore. The ATR zone is good enough. But as you can see, we've been kind of up there in the oversold. I mean, I'm sorry, overbought aspect, top ribbon of the Keltners for a while, and that's usually where you might want to sell or realize that you're going to start being challenged at least. So anyway, with overbought, of course we dumped, and now we dumped back into the buy zone. So Keltner bands, I think Keltner ribbons or bands or whatever you want to call them are pretty ineffective. I don't tend to use them a lot here, but I mean, I do use them, but I don't tend to show you guys. How about that? But I have them. Keltners, check them out. It's a good indicator. I'll put a good one over at bitcoindailyview.com so you guys can see it too. But basically, we've been kind of playing and looking at the 15-minute chart, kind of playing with that upper Keltner. Now we dumped. Where we dumped? To the bottom Keltner. So when you never tend to go above or below these very long. It's kind of like, to me, the 8 moving average. You tend to go up to it or below it, and like above it or below it. Usually tend to snap back to it on any time frame. You're never going to stay that far from it very long. So in general, you're not going to stay above or below the top. You're going to stay above the top Keltner band very long. You're not going to stay below the bottom one very long. So we're kind of in on the 15-minute chart, this sweet buy zone. 50-minute chart, not necessarily showing signs here in the indicator of turning around, indicators of turning around, but we'll see. Maybe we're going to soften up this and begin to turn back up. This is a logical place to do it on the 15-minute chart. Could be. I would need to see a confirmation here on the squeeze indicator and the directional index get in the green. Wouldn't mind seeing a challenge and a break above the 200 moving average here on the 50-minute chart, which is right about where we've kind of had a glass ceiling that we broke above recently. So let's see what happens. Sorry, this chart is kind of busy, I know. Let's look at this chart here on the 45-minute. Let's look at the Keltner bands. Okay, there you go. So as you can see here on the 45-minute chart, one of my favorites. We definitely have been flirting with the upper zone of the Keltners. And if you actually have been using that as an indicator, you almost could have bought and sold there and then bought when you get back to the green. So you can kind of say, I'm going to buy here in the green, I'm going to sell in the red. Then it's kind of sideways, hard indicator to use. How's the Keltner look on the 4-hour? I'm kind of curious. How's that look? Well, that's kind of interesting. So you can start, yeah, it's nice and smoother. I think I have this thing actually tuned for 4 hours. So as you can kind of see, anyway, do what you will. I don't use it that much. Sometimes I just use it kind of for a confirmation of things. But if you do look, we definitely flirted with the top Keltner band on the 4-hour chart. And then, of course, we actually dumped this so you can see a little bit closer. Boom. There you go. That's nice. That's kind of beautiful, huh? So as you can see, we kind of flirted. We've been flirting with the top Keltner for a while. Got above it. You never stay above it very long. Re-entered it, dumped. Now we're down here at the bottom Keltner on the 4-hour chart. And, definitely a red directional index. Squeeze indicator is kind of going the wrong way there. Not a whole lot of volume right now. So let's see what happens. We're at a logical bounce point. Let's see if we do. Trade your own way. You know what I mean? And, do what works for you. So that's what I can tell you. One thing I wanted to mention, it's something I've just been seeing a lot lately. Don't wait for the inevitable one-day bull run or the bottom or the top or whatever, or looking at strange patterns, insisting they play out. I've recently got in the trading bots, and I've been doing a lot of trading bot development. I'm going to start sharing that on the bitcoindailyview.com. Bitcoindailyview here. I'm going to just kind of show you some of those running, and I'll share the code and say, boom, do with what you might want. Because, if you're running a 4-hour trading bot, I'll just throw this out real quick before we are out of here. It probably would have seen upwards velocity here and then probably sold right about here. That's money. What do you care about whether we're in a bull or a bear market? What's your time frame? Trade it, and don't sweat bulls and bears so much. And that's one thing is if you're just buying and then selling, that's one thing. But if you're buying and then selling, turning around, shorting, that's even profit constantly. Just fine. You got to tune your trading bot and do it how you so desire to do it. So with that said, I'm going to start sharing the trading bots and showing kind of like how they're doing and what they're doing, because I think that they're a great way to make money in the volatile crypto market. When you have days like this, there is an indicator. One of my little trading botters, it's based on a super trend. And one of the things you can see is, let's see, did it fire off here? Yeah, it did. So it actually, I have it running on the hourly, so it's kind of already tripped up. It's already out. But check this out. So just to kind of show you the super trend indicator, look, it showed buy here on the 4-hour, and then where did it just find a sell? Right now, bam, a sell. So basically, if you had a trading bot, and what I mean by that is also if you have a trading methodology, you know what I'm saying? That's based on certain, on different time frames. If you think about it, you could have gotten. Let me actually go right here. Forecast. A 4-hour trading bot would have made you 37% in 26 days. Maybe turned around and shorted at this point. Anyway, guys, with that said, don't want to belabor that point, but just saying, like I say, I hear it a lot these days, especially when the market's sideways. Are we bull, are we bear, bottom, top, whatever? It's all about your time frame. Like my trading bot that I'm using right now, that I've really been kind of doing some development on. The sideways motion is kind of hard for it. Like it follows the same logic as this indicator, the super trend version 1.0. You'll see it out there in TradingView, but it bought here. Where did it buy? It bought a while ago, and it's been buying and selling a bit too much in this sideways hourly range, but it did sell. It got me out, so I gotta and once it triggers, like you can see it triggered back here for a buy, but then it sold here, and now it's been a little bit choppy. It bought here, and then I think it sold this morning, bam, when the market started to dump. So it's kind of making, sometimes the swings aren't quite as much as I'd like between buys and sells, but still, it definitely catches the big trends. So anyway, guys, with that said, there's my hourly chart with Keltners and the, let me actually turn the Keltners off real quick here on the hourly. Turn my Keltner off. And just check this out. Really, like I say, I think to me, we're at the bottom of the ATR zone here, and also kind of hitting the Keltner, like on the 15-minute and the 45 and like the 4-hour chart and such. So, maybe we're at the bottom. I'm going to watch a 15-minute chart here, actually even like a 5-minute chart, and then kind of see how things go. How's 5-minute charts beginning to show a little bit of weakness in the dump. The directional index is beginning to show a good trend towards a positive side. ADX usually turning down wouldn't be so hot, but in this situation, it actually is kind of. So, do what you will. Maybe we're at a balance point here. We'll see. We'll see. Trade your methodology and do what works for you. But right now, looking at my 45-minute chart, I kind of. Well, there you go. I mean, see what happens. Right now, 45-minute chart, not seeing a positive move up yet. 15-minute chart, seeing a bit of sideways, maybe seeing the beginning of a turnaround. We'll see. It could definitely just dump another step down. 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart definitely starting to show some a pattern of possibly sideways and starting to move back up, get some energons going on. And like I say, on the hourly chart, what I'm really kind of watching is exactly this. And this kind of thing is going to kind of play out right now is hourly chart. You start to see we got a wick here. And it's getting longer as the body of this candle gets to be more stubby. So really, I think the hourly 314 moving average just seems to be holding so far. It's also the bottom of the ATR zone. That's a pretty darn logical bounce spot for me. Let's see if it plays out in the next, couple hours. It could definitely dump right below or dump right above. I'm not quite ready to go long yet. Too much volatility right now. I might just go and upgrade memory in one of my computers and do some stuff and come back and look at this and see how it's doing. I kind of want to put an alert in for a 314 moving average cross, and also a 200 moving average cross. 314, unhappy, definitely see more of a dip than I probably would like, maybe a little bit longer than I would like. But definitely if we break it back above this 200 moving average, or even kind of range between for a while and start getting positive indicators like on the hourly and the 4-hour, strong. Keltner bands show that things happened in a couple different time frames in general when they would be expected to, and it's kind of bouncing where you'd expect it to. Let's see what happens, guys. Sorry, this was kind of long. With that said, I could look at alts, but they're all kind of potty. But I will say that alts are definitely going to be what probably takes off first once Bitcoin gets sideways and solid a little bit. And if I see some alts starting to pop, if I see some good things starting to happen, I'll definitely hop back on and be like, hey, guys, here's some there's some setups that I'm looking at. Take care. Remember, be kind to each other. Be nice, damn it. And talk to you later.